Welcome back. It's been a while since I updated you on this project. Some work has happened, although not as much as I would like, obviously. Always that with cars. So yeah, I don't even think I had a roll cage in the last update, but we have a roll cage now. As well as part of a transmission tunnel and flooring is in. Just so I can build a firewall later. The engine too, it's been moved back from its original position. It's still using the BMW subframe with the mounting for the suspension and everything, but the engine mounts relative to the subframe has been moved back 20 centimeters about. So the whole steering geometry has to be redone and stuff like that. Basically, there weren't place for a radiator where the old position was, and also it would be really front heavy. So I moved it back. I remade the sump. Had to buy a welder that could weld aluminum, or aluminium as it's called. And if you can see, or maybe not see, let me give you better view. There's the position for the new well, soon there will be a position for the new steering linkage, so I made place for it at least. There you can see some of the sump that's been welded off and remade. Sorry for the lack of editing in my videos, but I'm a busy man as I am, and I don't have time to do that. I'd rather work on the vehicle. As I have to redo the whole steering geometry and everything, I've decided to go with a rack and pinion instead of a steering box. So here you have the, well, I don't know what it's called, but the steering rod or whatever from the BMW E39 goes down there, and it will later link up to this monstrosity. This is a rack and pinion from a E46, I think. That's been modified. So I welded or fabricated a bar in front, which I've mounted here. So as I turn this, the bar moves back and forth in regards to this, and I can then mount the original steering linkage from the steering box to this. That was the only way I was gonna get my lengths right, because the original is about 2 or 3 centimeters per side shorter than even this, and this is a really short rack and pinion. So in order to not get bump steer, I have to move the pivots from here where they are originally on the E46 to about there. And the only way you could do that is either shortening this, which there basically ain't a shorter rack and pinion that I found that will work, or you can move them out. So that's what I'm gonna do. The mounting part is gonna be about here, so the arm to the wheel is gonna mount to this instead of in here where it usually is. This is still a working prototype. This concept has been done, and there are kits for it for, I think, 1970s Camaros, if I'm not mistaken. Aftermarket kits that cost like $2,000. Well, I don't have a 1970 Camaro, and I don't have $2,000, so I made my own instead. So in here is just some fabricated pieces to stop the wiggling, and just some steel. In here you have some bearings that prohibit it from moving actually this way. Those might be changed out to plastic rails at a later point. That's undecided right now. All of this will have to be redone as well when I get the positioning right, but I have to get the positioning right before I make these permanent. So yeah, that's the current battle I'm facing. I have done a lot of things that you might not see if you don't look. For instance, I've notched the original frame. I don't know if I've shown you this before. So I gained about 5 centimeters or 2 inches of foot clearance. Instead of having the floor at this side, I now moved it down, because I'm quite tall and this car is quite small. So that's what I have to do. I've also fitted a nice seat, the biggest I could find, because this is the only one that fit me. It's also moved back considerably from the original position. I've fixed the shifting linkage and shifting position. This is directly mounted to the transmission and free floating from the chassis. So I should get good shifting feel if everything goes to plan. You can see down here that I have space around for some movement as well. It's not going to be stiff mounted. It has rubber cushions and everything. So yeah, it's also a 5-speed now, a welded transmission from a diesel that has a new case on it, so it fits this engine. The engine has gotten a pair of cheap eBay turbos as of now, with custom made headers or runners or whatever, and downpipes as well. They're not fully welded yet, the downpipes that are, because I still have to get the column right and all sorts of things. In there I got some extra stiffening for lateral movements, or to prohibit lateral movements. And yeah, if there's any questions about the build or anything you want to find out, you can just leave a comment and I will hopefully answer them. It's not gonna be a racing car or anything like that, it's just gonna be a street car. You can, through some institutions here in Sweden, you can get this registered as a street car, hopefully. I just have to follow good building etiquette, and I'll get it published. I'll get it, road legal. So the front suspension, everything is from the same car, the BMW E39 540, that the engine is from. Same thing goes with the rear suspension. This is a subframe. I've actually chopped down these about a centimeter, so this was over here, and that's so I could, relatively to the car, raise the rear subframe, so I get some better geometry when I lower the car. And I've also welded this so it's strong, because when you take stuff out you gotta put new stuff in, and it's gonna get polybushed as well. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit wider too. This is the dimension I'm gonna use at the front actually. It's 245 40 18 I think, and that's gonna be the front size. At back I'm gonna use 275 I think in width, 35 18s. So I'm gonna see if that fits first. And these are just some tires I got for free because of damage in the sidewall. So, but they're good for measuring, so that's why I got them. But yeah, I've also bought a lot of stuff that's going into this car that I haven't got time to do yet. Although in a year or so, when the next update will be posted, hopefully, you may even see this rolling around. I'm not gonna keep any promises though. I'm not gonna promise anything, rather. So yeah, that's it for this time. See you next time.